Denver offices, a proud partner of the Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
This is Wisconsin linebacker Mason Posa.
Mason Posa shuts the door!
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Sports Center updates on 100.5 ESPN are brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison. Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or visit metrokiaofmadison.com. The biggest moments.
One man to beat up the right sideline.
See ya, baby.
99-yard touchdown run.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships.
The biggest stories from area high school sports. This is Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. Alongside the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Semrau, here's Hunter Vaughn.
For the first time ever, Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly goes on the road as we are live from Madison La Follette High School as we get ready for a huge game in the Big 8 on the girls basketball side of things, as the La Follette Lancers and the Verona Wildcats are currently in a part of a three-way tie for first place in the Big 8. I'm Hunter Vaughn. Alongside me, the Hall of Famer, the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Semrau. This is Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly, and Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973. They're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether you're looking for a sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none. Browse their car selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local, shop Zimbrick Honda. Dennis, this game tonight between La Follette and Verona, this is round 2 of this matchup. Winner moves into first place in the Big 8 Conference, and this was a game that Verona won back on December 16th, 69-59. And when you look at the stats of that first matchup between these two teams, I'm just going to run through some of these numbers here that they've got over on Bound. La Follette, 25 of 62 from the field. Verona, 24 of 60. 3-pointers. La Follette, 6 of 24. Verona, 5 of 18. So they're pretty similar. You're like, okay, how was this a 10-point victory?
Here we go.
Until we get to the free throw line.
You betcha.
La Follette, 3 of 6. Verona, 16 of 22. I'm going to assume we'll be talking to the head coach of the Verona Wildcats, Lexy Richardson, in our next segment. I'm going to assume they're not expecting that to happen here again tonight, and I'd be shocked if you were too, to see a 13-point difference from the free throw line.
Well, after the game against Madison West, when Macy Stremlow had 9 and 1s, yeah, she is a beast inside. We got to see her against Memorial last week. And that was a tough game.
Yeah.
I mean, right down to the wire. And again, we're going to see two of the best, arguably the best players in our area, if not the state, in sophomores.
Yep.
And again, I think so. We're going to see how this game gets officiated. I talked to a few people after Friday's game, and they thought maybe the game was a little bit fast for some of the officials because there was a lot of contact, a lot of stuff going on in the first half where they could have called. And then the last one, but if you're not going to call stuff, be consistent. The last drive, remember, came up short.
Yep.
There was contact, but no whistle, and
Yep.
the ball didn't go in. So, and Verona ends up losing by 2. So I think how this game is officiated tonight, they'll let them play. We don't want to see Riak or Stremlow fall out.
No.
We want to see them playing. And the key is, can their teammates get them the ball inside where they can do some damage?
Well, and I'm going to be really interested, you mentioned with how the game is officiated, because that can just vary so much and you don't know what it is. You can't really game plan for that if you're a high school team. What these two teams do and how they approach this game.
Well, you can't necessarily game plan for it, but you can get the kids' psyche in their mind. Will Green La Follette coach and I talked about this week, is how much of the game is mental. He's got 6 sophomores on his team, which is probably why the JV team was losing by 13 here. Their best players are playing with varsity. And he said it becomes a mental thing, and that's in their losses. It was where they lost their focus and didn't quite have it. The sophomores are going to be up and they're going to be down. And I think so when you go in, I remember when I was coaching my kids, I'd go, anytime we're on the road, expect not to get a call.
Yep.
Just not. If you get one, hey, great. But don't whine about it. Just play the game. And sometimes players, they see stuff get called one way and not another, and all of a sudden it starts to get in their head, and now you got them. You got, that's the kind of stuff you just have to just kind of wipe away. But that comes with experience. And you can't expect a lot of freshmen and sophomores, even though Nyajuacni Riak for La Follette has played a lot of high-level basketball.
Yes.
And she's getting used to getting banged around and whatever. But some of her teammates aren't.
Yep.
So that's going to happen.
Yeah, again, one of the premier players, not only in the state of Wisconsin, but in the entire country, Nya Riak.
She had over 20 offers before high school.
Yep.
Now it's like, and now it's multiple. But understand the big dogs, the Connecticut's, South Carolinas, the Dukes haven't quite come out because they don't offer freshmen and sophomores.
No.
They don't have to.
No.
But if you're a Wisconsin and Minnesota, you got to get on them right away to establish that relationship because when the Blue Bloods come in, everybody knows who they are.
Yeah, that's why we collectively as Badger fans have been hoping that head coach Robin Pinchton of the Badger women's basketball team has just made La Follette High School her second home since moving up here and taking the Badger job this first year to try and get Nya Riak to commit to Wisconsin.
And she's been here a lot,
yes,
from what I understand.
Which she should be, and it is awesome that she has been. So Nya Riak, one of the players we're going to be watching out for tonight in this game. Macy Stremlow, we saw her on Friday night. She is as advertised. Also, just a sophomore, averaging over 20 points per game, over 11 rebounds per game. She had a double-double in their loss to Memorial on Friday night. So another great player here this evening. But this game here tonight, Dennis, we were expecting it to be, it'll be a solid game. Two of the better teams in the conference. Get to see two of the best players in the entire state here tonight. But La Follette on Friday night had a surprising loss to Sun Prairie West, a team now that, with that loss for the Lancers, forced this three-way tie in the Big 8 Conference. Sun Prairie West now tonight, they're playing Memorial, the team that's a part of this three-way tie with Verona and La Follette. So if the Wolves can pull off another surprising upset, the winner of this game, they all of a sudden have a one-game lead in the conference, and they're alone in first place in the conference.
Yeah, it's you can't expect any, again, with a young team. You just can't expect. We heard what the score was of the game. Oh, okay, they got upset. Oh,
Yep.
Good. That makes Tuesday's game even more fun.
Yep.
So it's going to come down. Now, the guys have had a little separation. A week ago we had the top three teams and the boys and the girls all tied for first. And I haven't seen that happen in a while.
No, which is great for Madison area basketball. I know there's been some years where it's been, it's very clearly this team, especially the run that Verona was on, having a 64-game winning streak in this Big 8 conference on the girls' side of things. You've seen that a lot where there's just one team. But to have three teams here who, quite honestly, boys or girls' side, if I were to tell you on the girls' side, Verona, Memorial, or La Follette make it up to Green Bay to the Resch Center, I don't think you're going to be too surprised about that. Over on the boys' side, if I tell you Memorial, Verona, or Middleton were to make it to the Kohl Center and playing for a state championship, would you be that surprised?
That would be a surprise because Verona had to replace all five starters from last year.
But based on the way they're playing
and
right
Middleton had to replace Garlock and the size.
Mm-hmm.
So coming into the season, Memorial was the one we thought.
Yeah.
Madison Memorial, Steve Collins, definitely. Now the other two now made their stand, but Memorial's only lost once, and that was to Verona early.
Yep.
So now they're kind of, I think, the cream right now. We'll
Yep.
see if they can hold on because we've all got big ones the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, we're going to see more great basketball games here through the rest of the season. We'll have next week, Tuesday, for Tuesday Night Hoops, Verona at Middleton. Dennis is not used to the attention here at Verona. We've got some of our social media team taking video of us. You're not used to this. Normally it's just you, Owen, and I back at the Everlight Solar Studio. We're going to have to get you out and about a little bit
You
more.
got to understand, after 30 years of doing newspaper, I'd walk into a gym, and parents, kids knew because I've been doing it. Jay Wilson and our buddy Jocko would walk in. Oh my God, they got a camera.
Yep.
They want on. They know they're the rock stars. In newspaper, we were kind of, Yeah, we're kind of hanging out there,
Yep.
but we get to go out to the schools. We don't cause a lot of trouble. You know, they don't need security around us. So just let them walk through. Yeah, when you got to do now this video stuff, it's just like doing the profiles. The best thing I've ever gotten to do for high school students was started with a prep profile with the Capital Times.
Yep.
Those started in 1991. That's how long I've been doing them.
I hate to do this to you, but do you know what year I was born, Dennis? 1992.
Yeah, I was going to say it wasn't 91.
So longer than I've been alive, you've been profiling area student athletes.
And now with the videos, I mean, while we were just out to shoot one yesterday, Pablo and I were out at Middleton High School with Olivia Shellevold, who's going to be running at Wisconsin next year.
Nice.
Great student athlete. And when you sit down and you talk to the kids, we've got just some wonderful student athletes. And again, emphasis student. You look at some of the grade points of these kids. My God. There's the old joke about he had a 30-31 on the SAT, and Jerry Pettig used to say, yeah, I got a 31. I got a 15 and a 16.
Yeah.
I took it twice. But these kids are – and Liv, who will be – our profile will be of next week, I think 3 or 4 AP classes.
Wow.
And these classes, if you get a 4 or 5, transfer over to college credit,
Yep.
which is incredible. So this day and age.
Dennis, as we're here at Madison La Follette High School getting ready for the Verona and La Follette Lancers girls basketball game. Winner moves into first place in the conference as we have a 3-way tie right now in the Big 8. I want to talk more broadly, and I mentioned the fact that any one of these 3 teams that are atop the conference could make a run here to the Resch Center. The problem is that they all play in the same sectional as 2 of the best teams in the state, one of the best teams in the entire country, and I'm talking about the Arrowhead Warhawks, one of the best teams in the country. They've been ranked nationally throughout a big chunk of the season, and then the Waunakee Warriors also in that one, and a really good Brookfield East team as well. So there's some really good teams that they would have to go through to win their sectional, but it still is a winnable sectional. I mean, Arrowhead, it's going to be tough, but they did lose a game this year. Granted, it was to another national
Waunakee
team.
came so close to beating the sectional finals at Oregon last year. They came back, made some threes, but they couldn't make some free throws, and Arrowhead ended up winning it in overtime. So that's why we play the game, and you never know if somebody's going to have a bad night. You know who's going to. Which is why they say the stars come out. Always look for that role player, that one who might make their game. And this is when it goes back to my newspaper days, that I always look when I had to cover a game story. The stars are going to get their headlines and whatever. Mm-hmm. That one kid that we had, that was their moment in the sun, and we got to document it. They got their picture in the paper, or their name was in there. It's the same thing with radio, and we can talk about these kids that come off the bench that work their tails off in practice, and they get that one moment. We want to be there to help them, help document it.
Well, you mentioned that. Who is there a player is La Follette here as a free throw, so I was trying to be respectful of the free throw. That's why I was whispering there for a moment. Who tonight, besides the 2 big stars in Macy Stremlow for Verona and Nyajuacni Riak for La Follette, is there somebody here tonight that you're like, that's somebody that I think could have that big moment in a huge game late in the season?
Well, I like the 1-2 punch of Alexa Rapnoe and Noelle Raoul for Verona. They had both had a great game.
Yep.
Defensively, they're all over the floor. But Dylan Roddick is the one that came off the bench, a 5'9" senior, number 34, spot starter, 6th man. She had a few shots that just didn't fall for her the other night. She's averaging almost 8 points a game off the bench. I think she ended up with 4 maybe the other night, but she was really active, and you could just notice a little energy.
Yeah.
And I think on the other side, you have 2 seniors in the lineup, Josie Goodnature and Madeline Jenkins, and they're both averaging about 5 or 6 points a game, nothing really big, but they're impactful on defense. Josie's got 1.5 steals a game, and Madeline's averaging a block shot a game. So defensively, they might be some players to keep an eye on, because, as you know, you can't guard Stremlow one-on-one, and then Riak, it's the same thing. So whoever gets – and that's a matchup I'm looking forward to seeing Macy and Nyajuacni go head-to-head too. That's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be an awesome matchup. to see those two going head-to-head. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have our Midwest Financial Group coaches profile, as the lineup at Midwest Financial Group consists of coaches for your financial world, organizing the players on your personal team. Behind every great team is a great coach. Let the Midwest Financial Group be yours for your financial planning needs. Head to mfgteam.com to get started today. Advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, a registered investment advisor. When we come back, the head coach of the Verona Wildcats, Lexy Richardson, will join us next here on Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly.
You're listening to Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly, breaking down more from this week in area high school sports next on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
For over a century, one family has helped generations move forward. Christofferson Moving and Storage. They've built a legacy of trust, celebrating 120 years in 2026. With transparent, upfront pricing, highly trained professional crews, and flexible services designed around you, they protect your home and belongings with expert care and clear communication every step of the way. Let them handle the heavy lifting so you can focus on what's next. Christofferson Moving and Storage. Your best move since 1906. Get your complimentary quote at ChristoffersonMoving.com.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement, with a state-of-the-art 52,000 square foot facility of elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
I worried about choosing the right two-year college where credits would transfer to UW, but I figured out a great path. At Madison College, I'm in the STEM program. The classrooms are intimate, instructors are engaging, and best of all, I'll be able to transfer to UW debt-free. My advice to others, start your journey here. You won't regret it. There's more to your story at Madison College.
Visit madisoncollege.edu to get started.
At Hooper Service, your comfort is important. From keeping you cozy warm to comfy cool with the ultra-quiet, energy-efficient Carrier Infinity Home Comfort System. Plus, join our Home Comfort Priority Plan and keep your air conditioner and furnace running at peak performance year after year. Enjoy priority service and extra savings that really add up. Hooper is here with 24-hour heating, cooling, plumbing, and fire protection service for your home and business. Turn to the experts, Carrier and Hooper.
When you or a loved one are faced with an unexpected injury or illness, Stoughton Health's urgent care is there for you. Stoughton Health has 4 convenient urgent care locations for the care you need without the wait. We have urgent care locations in Stoughton, Oregon, McFarland, and Cottage Grove with extended hours to fit your schedule. Stoughton Health accepts over 160 insurances, including Dean Health Plan, Quartz, Humana, and more. Please visit stoughtonhealth.com for more information. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires? For a limited time at Zimbrick Honda, you can buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Ben Brust here for the Princeton Club. If you're looking for your better tomorrow, you know where to go. It's the Princeton Club. If you're looking to grow, it's also the Princeton Club, because they will cheer for you in all areas of your life. The best way to do that is to start a foundation of having a healthy body, and your growth will start from there. With the cleanest health clubs in Wisconsin, they provide everything for you to reach your goals. Start your better tomorrow today and grow in all areas of your life at the Princeton Club. Join for a better tomorrow.
This is ESPN Wisconsin and ESPNWisconsin.com.
Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly continues on, and it's now time for our Midwest Financial Group Coaches Profile. The lineup at Midwest Financial Group consists of coaches for your financial world. Organizing the players on your personal team. Behind every great team is a great coach. Let the Midwest Financial Group be yours for your financial planning needs. Head to mfgteam.com to get started today. Advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, a registered investment advisor. We're now joined by the head coach of the Verona Wildcats, Lexy Richardson. Lexy, thank you for joining us live here before your game.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Now, this is a game, a rematch for you guys. You won the first game here against La Follette, 69-59. That game, obviously, over in Verona. Dennis and I were talking about, looking back at the stats for that game, and you guys were plus 13 from the free throw line. And I said to Dennis, I don't think that you guys are planning to have that happen again. Is that the game plan here tonight, or what are you telling your team when you had such a disparity on one thing like free throws?
Yeah, I think part of that is that aggressive mentality, knowing we got to be able to attack downhill. I think, not settling for those outside shots, making sure that we're getting those highest percentage shots, which we know are right around the rim, and just making sure we go up strong with it. I think that's the biggest thing, is being patient on those shots, making sure we're attacking, we're being aggressive, and it's nice when the free throw line comes with that.
You've got two of the best players in the state here tonight on each team, but I always like that. Who's that player that, like when I was a reporter, newspaper, that we could write about who never gets anything? We could document a great memory. Is there a player you think tonight that might be ready to make that next step, or just with matchups could shine for you?
Yeah, I think Alexa Rupnow is one that she's not someone who's going to be all over, the stats sheet, that sort of thing, but she does make that big difference. She's a big defensive specialist for us, and has that ability, has a nice shot when she's getting that off, and so would love to see her tonight really bring that intensity, really bring that aggressiveness on offense too, and making sure she's looking for hers and getting set up.
Well, and she was somebody in the game on Friday night against Memorial. She was really scrapping in there. I mean, she took a foot to the elbow because she was playing so aggressively. Had to leave for a little bit, but it looked like she was okay. She came in later.
Yep.
So she's good tonight.
Yep, good to go.
Just kind of caught the funny bone.
Yes, exactly. Yep, but she's a tough kid. I don't think anything would have held her out of this game.
Well, I want to ask you, you look at the rosters, both players have 12. I mean, girls basketball is kind of struggling. Is it club volleyball? Is it it doesn't seem like, or is it maybe the impact of AAU kids? Oh, geez, I'm not going to play, so why bother?
Yeah, Verona for a long time, we've tried to keep our roster right around that 12 number. I think for a few reasons. One, you're going to have more of your team on the court playing, getting those opportunities. We have 3 teams, so we have our JV and our JV2 team as well. And so those are a little bit smaller teams, but obviously get the girls more court time, get them more exposure. But, we have seen numbers going down. I think, like you said, club soccer, club volleyball, all those sorts of things. We have a few girls that are doing both, and you got to make it work. I think it's one of those things, if you want the best athletes on the floor, want the best players on the floor, you got to be able to give and take a little bit. And I think it's awesome. I was a multi-sport athlete. I always encourage the girls to be multi-sport athletes. I think that's so important. And so just making sure if they want to do it, let's make sure we can find a way to get them to do that.
Is there anything that you guys do? I know from Dennis and I talking to other coaches in other sports, they talk about their involvement with the youth programs and things like that. Is there anything you do in Verona to try and help with those numbers or help get the youth program kind of built up?
Yeah, we have a great youth program. We have 100 girls in our youth program, and that's pretty consistent year to year. We do, I run spring and fall clinics. We run our summer camp. We have open gyms for them throughout the summer. Really just giving them as many opportunities as we can to get them in the gym, get them having fun playing. It's a great group of kids. It's a run youth program that was something that was handed off to me when I took over, and we continued to see success there. And I think that's, a really big piece of Verona's success year after year.
Your dad being a longtime coach, did you ever think you were going to coach? And to know that your dad, Dave, was a Hall of Fame football coach, and you got to coach with Angie, who's a Hall of Fame player and a coach. Yeah, I feel blessed to have that kind of influence.
Yeah, absolutely. They continue to be my sounding board on all things coaching. And I think I grew up seeing him coach, that love of the game, being able to impact players. I still have, guys coming up to me telling me that they played for my dad and how awesome that was. And that's the biggest piece, right, is yes, it's fun. Yes, it's fun to win when they're in high school, but just those relationships you build, the seeing the success that they have 5, 10, 15 years from now, I think is the reason he did it. It's the reason I'm doing it, and it's the same thing with Angie. She loved that relationship part, and so continuing to be able to learn from both of them, has been absolutely awesome.
We're joined by the head coach of the Verona Wildcats, Lexy Richardson, getting ready for this big game that you have here tonight with the La Follette Lancers. One last question for you so you can go and get prepared for this game with your team. Winning this game tonight, if it comes down to one thing, what is it for you guys to come away with the win?
It's going to be our rebounding. I think that sort of helps set the stage for everything else, right? Your offensive rebounding, your defensive rebounding, really being able to take charge of that and be confident in that. I think it's going to be a board battle tonight.
Awesome. Thank you, Lexy, and good luck here tonight as you take on La Follette.
Thank you.
We're going to take another break, and when we come back, we will wrap up before we hand it off to Riley Yauk for La Follette and Verona here on Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly.
More of Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly coming up next on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Knee pain can make everyday activities harder, but relief may be closer than you think. Join Ortho Team Clinic's Dr. Joseph Henningsen for a free online talk, Knee Pain Relief, Tuesday, February 10th from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Learn common causes of knee pain, ways to reduce discomfort, and available treatment options, both surgical and non-surgical, and when it may be time to see a specialist. Register at stoughtonhealth.com under classes and events.
The team at Midwest Financial Group are values-based financial specialists that offer full-service financial solutions. This local independent firm has been dedicated to helping people achieve their financial, tax, and insurance goals for over 30 years. Visit mfgteam.com to learn more about how they can help set up your future for financial success. Advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, a registered investment advisor.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Heart-shaped pizzas from Pizza Hut are waiting for you. This isn't just dinner, it's a love story, told in cheese, sauce, and a perfectly shaped crust. Only here for a limited time, the heart-shaped pizzas are the perfect way to say I love you without saying a word. Starting at just $13.99. It's cheaper than flowers and way more delicious. Order yours today at pizzahut.com before they're gone. Pizza Hut. Love at first slice. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Here's to a Wisconsin winter you will always remember. To playing outdoors in a winter wonderland. Here's to cozying up around the fire and holding someone close. And to staying downtown, where the food scene makes your heart sing. And to celebrating moments frozen in time. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your winter getaway at travelwisconsin.com. Sponsored by Travel Wisconsin.
It is the 25th anniversary of Bowling for Colons on Sunday, March 1st. Help us strike out colon cancer at UW Carbone Cancer Center. Come roll with us and form a team of 4 to 5. Choose from 9 bowling centers in the Madison area. Enjoy 3 games of bowling, shoe rental, and a cool anniversary t-shirt. Spare us your excuses. Hurry up. Lanes are filling quickly. Google Bowling for Colons 2026 to register your team now. Let's strike out cancer with Bowling for Colon 2026.
I worried that I couldn't work a full-time job and still have time for college. but I'm so glad I didn't let that stop me. At Madison College, I found my stride. My classes are flexible and hands-on, and I walk on campus feeling inspired. My advice to others? Make your dreams a reality. There's more to your story at Madison College.
Visit madisoncollege.edu to get started.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Talk about stepping up. Bang! Bang! It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
This is ESPN Wisconsin and ESPNWisconsin.com.
Wrapping up Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly, I'm Hunter Vaughn. Alongside me, the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Semrau. We were just joined by Lexy Richardson, the head coach of the Verona Wildcats, for our Midwest Financial Group Coaches Profile. If you missed any of that interview or any of our other shows, head over to the ESPN Wisconsin app or wherever you get your podcasts, where you can listen to those back, or you can watch us back on the ESPN Madison or Daily Dodge YouTube channel, as well as we have the show streaming every week live on YouTube as well. This is Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. Zimbrick Honda's been a part of the Madison community since 1973. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at two convenient Madison service locations. One on Fish Hatchery Road and the other on Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires at Zimbrick Honda? Buy 3 tires and get the 4th for how much, Dennis?
$1.
That's right, just $1. Shop local, shop Zimbrick Honda. It's now time for our Pizza Hut Power Rankings. This week is, again, every week we power rank the top 10 teams from around the area. This will be power ranking the schools in the Capital North, Capital South, Badger Large, Badger Small, and the Big 8 conferences. The nod there was me thanking Riley Yauk for getting me a snack, as I'll be running the video when Riley Yauk takes over on the call for this game between Verona and La Follette. We start with the girls' power ranking, and starting at number 10, it is Janesville Craig. Then at 9, Riley Yauk's alma mater, the Milton Redhawks. At number 8, Lakeside Lutheran. The Monona Grove Silver Eagles at number 7. Beaver Dam checking in at number 6. And then the Verona Wildcats at 5. Vel Phillips Memorial at number 4. Then number 3, Dennis, is the Madison La Follette Lancers. And then our top 2, as they have been all year, is Edgewood at 2, Waunakee at number 1. Edgewood was number 1 last week, but then Waunakee overtaking them again in the team's eyes that put this together.
Well, and Edgewood's unbeaten in conference. They've actually clinched a share of the title. 3-game lead with 3 conference games to play. And Waunakee's got a 2-game lead over Beaver Dam, another team that's in our top 10 there. And then I like it 3, 4, 5, La Follette, Memorial, Verona.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way it is right now in the standings.
Yep.
You look at tonight, that could change. If La Follette wins, are they going to get bumped up ahead of Waunakee or Edgewood? I don't think so.
I doubt it.
I think those 2 teams are better. La Follette's got the best player, probably, arguably, who's being recruited by everybody in the free world at this point.
I think there's even some men's teams that have started recruiting her because they've just seen how good of a player she is. They're just like, yeah, we could use her. She's an upgrade for us. We move over then to the boys' side of things for our Pizza Hut power rankings. Pizza Hut's Big New Yorker pizza is just $10 for a limited time. An extra large pizza with 6 huge foldable slices and bold New York style flavor. Big size, big value, just $10. Order on the Pizza Hut app or at pizzahut.com. Pizza Hut, the official pizza of PrepMania. On the boys' side of things, then, Dennis, we start down at number 10. It is Sauk Prairie. Number 9, Madison La Follette coming in at 9. At 8, Lakeside Lutheran. They've been in the top 10 just about all season long. Recently lost to Lake Mills for the second time, but this time only by 2 points. So a much better loss, quote-unquote better loss, for Lakeside Lutheran. The Wanakee Warriors at 7. McFarland at number 6. McFarland, a great team, a team that could make a run to the Kohl Center, but these other 5 teams that are up ahead of them are just playing such great basketball right now. With the Beaver Dam Golden Beavers at number 5. The Verona Wildcats sitting at 4. Then number 3, Middleton. Number 2, the Lake Mills L-Cats, a team that got a first-place vote from our voters on this power ranking. But number 1, it is the Vel Phillips Memorial Spartans, a team that has only lost 1 game on the year and will probably end up being a 1 seed in their sectional in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, 14, right into 14-game winning streak. You're looking at that. Sauk Prairie, I think they could be moving up because they are actually tied with McFarland, 9-1 in the conference. Mm-hmm. You've got 2 teams 9-1, and Mount Horeb, who went 6-1 without Josh Manchester. He came back and scored 33.
Oh, that's all.
So now Mount Horeb gets back in that picture. Might be too much with 4 games to play, too much ground to make up. The Badger Large, Beaver Dam has got a half-game lead over Oregon and DeForest and Wanakee. So that's really tight. Mm-hmm. You got a 7-2 and 6-3 in 4th place. So that one's going to go down to the wire. And again, Middleton, we've seen Middleton Memorial number 1 in the Big 8, and Middleton at 12-1 in Verona right after that. So I think that plays into Memorial is the best team we've seen in the boys' side.
Yeah, I think Memorial, and this isn't even because we're Madison area guys and we follow Madison area basketball. If you look across the state, I think the only team playing better basketball than Madison Memorial right now is Wisconsin Lutheran. And in case people don't know or they haven't followed or paid attention to it, Wisconsin Lutheran has Con Knippel's 3 younger brothers, 3 of his 4 younger brothers. There's 5 total Knippel brothers out there. All 3 of them capable of playing in the NBA like their brother Con, and they're all playing on one high school basketball team right now. Plus, by the way, the senior leader of that team, Xavier Zen's a 6'7" wing. He's probably going to be Mr. Basketball for the state of Wisconsin.
Well, you look at the Knippels, the Watt brothers. There were only 3 of them.
Yeah.
And they're playing at the same time, but there's 5. Yeah, it'd be cool to walk down the stretch. Are they going to all be on the same team, same conference, or what's going to happen? But and Wisconsin Lutheran, remember, they're a 2-time champ. They won their first one in Division II.
Yep,
they
over
moved up.
Pewaukee.
There's no 1A, AA, or whatever.
Yep.
That's as far as they're going to go, guys. So somebody's going to knock them off. West Dallas Central, that was pretty close, and they got beat last weekend. So right now it's Lutheran is number 1.
Well, so I want to run through the sectionals here quick, and I'm going to go backwards on their numbering here. And you just tell me if there's a team that you think clearly the favorite or of the kind of top 4 teams here who you like best to make it to the Kohl Center. And that's what we'll do here to wrap up Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. I'm Hunter Vaughn, here with me, the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Semrau. So the sectional with Wisconsin Lutheran, they have West Dallas Central. They have my wife's alma mater, Racine Case, so there is a correct answer here, Dennis. And then Kenosha Bradford, along with Milwaukee Hamilton, kind of those top 4 or 5 teams within that sectional. Do you think anybody can dethrone Wisconsin Lutheran from that?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. I'd love to see Racine Case be able to do it, but when you're playing in a sectional that has Wisconsin Lutheran, plus West Dallas Central has Yusef Gray, one of the best players in the entire state, really hard to come out of that section.
Yeah, and Lutheran's got a heck of a coaching staff.
Yes, absolutely.
Arguably best.
Yep, it isn't just great players. They have an awesome coaching staff as well. I'm going to skip over the Madison area one here. We'll do that one last. But then the sectional that has De Pere right now is one of the top teams in that sectional. Also has Brookfield East, Bayport, Arrowhead, and Hartford. We're going to see DePere here on a Saturday as they come down to play Middleton.
I really want to see without the Kinsingers. What that team
or Domovsky's as well.
Oh, he was the unsung hero of that team. Rob, we know Rob's an ESPN guy, but he had a lot to be proud of with his son.
Yep.
And just the way they played, and the coach again, good coaching. Taking them that extra level. But I still like DePere just because of the track record. East is right there.
Yep. And then one that I'm really intrigued by, it is the sectional that is up in it goes kind of Appleton and then shoots over across the state for that northern part. So this is Kaukauna, Appleton North, DC Everest, Marshfield, and I'm going to throw Hudson, and then because of their pedigree, I'll throw Neenah in there. I think this is the most wide open of the sectionals.
Well, yeah, I like Kaukauna. And part of that's because of Andrew Jensen, who's committed to DePaul, big man.
Yep.
A Mr. Basketball candidate up there. And the coach retired after last year, so new staff, but there's continuity in it. And I just feel that program is so solid, and you've got that one go-to guy that can elevate your team at tournament time. So I've kind of leaning toward them right now.
See, that's why I like Marshfield to go back to the Kohl Center again. They made it last year, played in the championship game, lost to Wisconsin Lutheran, but they bring back Chris Pohl. They've got Ramberg, who's an awesome scorer. Camden Kolstad hit some big threes in their semifinal game over Waunakee. I really like that Marshfield team.
Sure, the one thing they have going is they've been there.
Yes.
And sometimes the first time you don't make it, well, they didn't win it, but they've got that experience factor.
Yep.
So that's probably my next one. But, again, I just like Jensen so much.
Yeah, he is such a great player. I hate that he's going to DePaul, being a Marquette fan.
Oh, yes, I agree.
Yeah,
growing up a Marquette fan, I hated DePaul just as much as you do. So.
And, especially now that there's a whole nother rabbit hole we could go down. The final sectional here are Madison Area 1. Right now, we're looking at Memorial as being a 1 seed, Madison Memorial with Middleton. They've got Beloit Memorial, who has a really great player in Hereford down there. He scores a ton of points, very similar to Chris Davis Jr. for Sun Prairie East last year. The Waunakee, Kettle Moraine, not the same Kettle Moraine team that we saw in the last couple of years, but still very good. Also Verona and La Follette. Monona Grove and Oregon in this one. Both of those teams playing some really good basketball here down the stretch. I like Steve Collins, so this isn't just because I like Steve. I feel like this is Memorial, but I feel like I'm leading the witness here. So, Dennis,
I think you mentioned Beloit Memorial. They really haven't played anybody. They're in a weaker conference now, and their non-conference schedule. So, Hereford's a really good player, trust me, but he's putting up a lot of points against some subpar competition. Mm-hmm. So, what's going to happen when he takes that level and teams can shut him down and what anybody else can do? I think it's this whole Big Eight. Memorial right now, I'd say that's the one, but I wouldn't put it past Middleton just because of their style of play right now.
Mm-hmm.
But they've got to shoot the ball well.
Yeah.
And if they don't shoot the ball well, because they don't really have the size they've had in the past, they rely primarily on the guards. But as my favorite Dickie V is, you got to have guards at tournament time.
Yep.
Who's got the best set of guards? And I think I really like what Memorial. We saw Memorial last week, what they bring to the table.
Yeah, they've got kind of 2 wings that they'll play at forward in the Ligon brothers with Caleb and Ezra, the twins. But then Anthony Miller can hit a shot from anywhere on the floor. I really like Braun as well, one of their guards. They've just got a really great all-around team, and it just feels like such a typical Steve Collins coach team. And it's also, I was going to say, Dennis, for somebody like a Beloit Memorial, when you've got Hereford, who's a great player, scoring nearly 40 points a game, you go up against somebody like a Steve Collins level coach or Kevin Bavery level coach or Cottrell Robinson over at Verona. Those are 3 of the best coaches in the entire state that they would have to try and contend with. That's really difficult because those guys have seen so much. They're going to throw so much at you that it's going to make things really difficult for him. I'm not saying he can't do it, but that's really hard.
We'll use Mount Horeb as an example with Josh Manchester. Great, but when they had to go up against Slinger, the bodies and the defense, what they were able to do, that he was constantly going through waves. Where are these guys coming from? Mm-hmm. It was like they're playing against 7 guys on defense.
Yep.
And I remember Cottrell, I think, when he was at La Follette, told me this about a ghost. where you think you're playing against 7 guys like a ghost out there because they're so quick and they anticipate so well on defense.
It's the Sam Darnold line when he was with the Jets. I'm seeing ghosts out there. That's what you try to do to players like that. And then, eventually they just bounce around to 4 other teams and then win a Super Bowl with their 5th team. So it all works out for the guys seeing ghosts anyways. That does it for Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. For the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Semrau, and our audio producer back at the Everlight Solar Studios, Owen Dimfel, I'm Hunter Vaughn. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, Riley Yauk will take my seat, and we will have some girls basketball with first place on the line in the Big 8. The La Follette Lancers hosting the Verona Wildcats on Zimbrick Honda's presentation of PrepMania coming up next here on ESPN Madison.
You're listening to Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly, breaking down more from this week in area high school sports next.